Well, we're just worried about France next week. If it's qualification for quarterfinals, but our emphasis is just on getting better each game. That was a tough game for us today in a lot of regards. When they went down to 14 men, they possibly get a psychological lift, and it's only human nature that we drop off a little bit because you think you're going to win the game, and we probably did that. But I was really pleased how the players got back into the game in the second half and dominated. And, after 3 games, as we said, we were 15 points, we'd be pretty happy.
Thank you. Next question on the front row on the left.
Owen, you've been hit on the jaw like that twice now in 10 days. Are you feeling okay, and are you sure that that's not going to have an effect on you? And also, what assessments did you have after this particular incident?
No, I feel fine. It's obviously a concussion. That's the worry. But I didn't really get hit anywhere near the top of the head. Maybe your jaw gets a bit sore. But no, I was fine. There's no need for a HIA.
Thank you. Next question here, third row, please. Raise your hand. Thank you.
Eddie, does the fact that you've qualified now give you a little bit more leeway with your selections for next week?
No. As I said, we're building. We want to get better next week. So we'll have a look at selection, pick the best 23 to get better next week. We don't want to be looking too far ahead. That's for you guys. You get the luxury of doing that. We just worry about one day at a time. We worry about what we do tomorrow. Want to make sure we have a good recovery tomorrow, good walkthrough tomorrow, and then we'll worry about the next day.
In the fifth row, just hand up. Yeah, thank you.
Guido Dennis, Kenya Rugby. Took Owen. Too many fights in the pitch today. What do you think was happening?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't call them fights, but yeah. No, there was a lot of scuffle after the ball. It's not something that we want to get caught up in, but we want to be able to look after our players. So that's what we tried to do today.
Okay. Front row here, please. Nick.
Eddie, in terms of one day at a time, can we just clarify whether you'll be returning to Sydney for Jeff Sale's funeral? How's that situation?
Well, as I said, I'm just worried about the next day, which is tomorrow, which is the walkthrough. So unless the RFU hire a Concorde for me, it'll be quite difficult to go. So I'm negotiating with BA, Concorde and the RFU at the moment, see what we could do. Well, obviously I'd like to go, but I've got a lot of responsibility here and I'm conscious of it. And the travel makes it difficult. So I doubt very much whether I'll be going as much as I'd like to go.
Okay, Eddie, Duncan, and then next one here. Go ahead, Duncan. Yeah, go ahead.
Eddie, how serious is Billy's injury?
I think he just had too much Kobe beef, mate. He gave it a bit of a touch-up in Kobe, so we thought I'd only give him 40 minutes today. But we'll have a look at it tomorrow and see what it's like.
Okay. Second row here. Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Eddie, what was it about today's performance that you liked? And did you think it was a challenge for the team in terms of its control?
Yeah, I liked our psychological adaptation to the game today. That we didn't get seduced by the game. It was a difficult game, as I said, and the breakdown was difficult. It's hard to get quick ball. The tackle assist is not releasing, which we're seeing in the tournament quite consistently. So it's hard to play a lot of phase rugby at the moment. And when you get 15 to 14, the seduction is to want to play a lot of phase rugby. And we probably did that a little bit in the first half, but in the second half we got back to playing good, solid rugby and won the game, in good fashion. Particularly pleasing was the Moore try at the end. We probably could have got one in the first half, but it is what it is. And the second half one was pleasing. Luke Cowan-Dickey's, I think he's our highest try scorer. So I don't know how that works.
Okay, here, third row, and then across there. Yep.
Eddie, the tries in the 5 minutes before half-time and 5 minutes after half-time were All Black-esque in terms of the clinical nature of them. How happy were you with that aspect of the game?
We're just happy the way we stuck at the game. We didn't get carried away. Because that's a banana slip game for us. You got to remember 2 years ago we beat Argentina with 14 men. I think Elliot got sent off after about 10 or 15 minutes, and we won the game easily with 14 men. You've got to be careful. So I was really pleased with the leadership of the team. I thought Owen and his lieutenants did a really good job of keeping us focused. Our bench was outstanding off the bench. We had two guys, Mako and Jack Knoll, haven't played rugby for 5 or 6 months at least, and they got a bit of a gallop. Jack scored a try, Mako scrum well, took the ball forward well, so there's some real pluses there for us today.
Yep, here in the third row, thanks. Yep.
Eddie, two questions. One, what actually did happen to Billy, because he wasn't back on the pitch afterwards? And secondly, you've played two Tier 1, two Tier 2 teams and a team with 14 men for most of the game. How much tougher are the challenges going to get going forward?
I don't know, mate. We can only play who they put in front of us. They put two Tier 2 teams and a Tier 1 team. The referee decided they have 14 men. So all we can do is beat them. Obviously it's going to get tougher, but that's what the competition's about.
How much growth has this team got? How much more is there to show?
Well, we don't know. Again, every day we look to get better. We're motivated by the fact we want to get better, and it's just a constant process. It's a dynamic process. It's never ending. We've got to be relentless about chasing areas we can get better in, and we will do that.
And what did actually happen to Billy then? What was his injury?
As I said, mate, Kobe beef. I think he slipped on a bit of Kobe beef. So he's twisted his ankle, but we don't think it's too serious.
Okay, thank you. Next question here and here.
John, can you talk a bit about Sam Underhill and also the way that that Lewis came on and picked it up as well alongside Tom?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Can you talk about Sam Underhill's performance and also the way that they worked as a trio, even when you lost Billy? Lewis came on and made an immediate impact.
Yeah, they're two very exciting back rowers, got huge work capacity, and Sam really enjoys his defence. And then you've got Lewis, who is a very, very mobile player, very handy with the ball in his hands, and loves to go forward. So yeah, there's a nice blend, and it's always important to have that sort of combination available, and we're very fortunate to have that.
Okay, so in the baseball cap in the front row. Sorry, first question.
Good evening. Question to Eddie. From what you've seen so far, what can you expect from the French team?
I like your cap, mate. Michigan State. No, better not. French were impressive in the first game against Argentina. They played some good rugby, a couple of great unstructured tries at the start of the game. They look like they're, with Gautier having an influence in their coaching, they're getting back more to their traditional game where their structure creates an unstructure for them to play a little bit of an offload and support game. So we're going to have to work very hard defensively next week against them. The set piece is always challenging against France, as you know, and they've got a particularly big team, so our preparations are going to have to be spot on.
Final two questions, after which the mix zone will be open immediately. Here in the third row, and the final question at the back.
Eddie, dos preguntas. La primera, en relación a la jugada de Manu Tuilagi, si consideras que debía ser amarilla, amonestado. Te teniendo en cuenta lo que había ocurrido previamente en la expulsión de Lavarini. Y la segunda, si viste un equipo argentino perdido en relación a los últimos compromisos que sostuvieron entre Argentina e Inglaterra.
Well, again, we never comment on the referee. We allow that process to be looked after by the referee. So I really don't have anything to say on that. You know, again, it is what it is.
Thank you. Final question at the back.
Buenas noches, tanto para Eddie como para su cuerpo técnico y para Owen. Recién en el head coach argentino Mario Ledesma habló del equipo inglés, del equipo galés, de cómo se repusieron después de haber quedado eliminados en primera fase de un campeonato del mundo. ¿Qué pueden aportar ustedes a este concepto que dijo el head coach argentino, tanto Eddie Jones como Owen Farrell? Gracias.
No, they've been unbelievably competitive. They're a very, very tough team to play against, and you know, I'm sure the situation now that they're in will make them better in the future.
Thank you, John, Eddie, Owen. Did you want to add?
Yeah, I just think Argentinian rugby's got a really healthy future. You know, they're producing a lot of good young players. This World Cup's been disappointing for them, but that happens to every country at some stage. The Jaguars are producing a stream of good players, and they've also got a couple of other competitions starting. So I think it's a pretty healthy future for Argentinian rugby. And I think, you know, you saw today with 14 men, their team fought hard, played with plenty of pride and passion, and yeah, they did their country proud. Obviously disappointed with the results, but they're a good team, so don't be too hard on them, guys.
Okay, thank you, everybody. The mixed zone will be opening very shortly. If we can just let the guys on the top table leave first.